The movie kicks off with a massive revelation. God has completely lost faith in humanity, and to wipe out the human race, he has sent a ruthless army of angels down to Earth. Meanwhile, in the dead of night, an angel named Michael crashes down from the sky right into Los Angeles. The moment he hits the ground, he pulls out a knife and, completely ignoring the pain, slices his own wings right off his back. After stitching up his wounds, Michael breaks into a nearby underground weapons stash and gears up with a massive arsenal of guns. As soon as he steps outside, 2 cops spot him and draw their weapons to arrest him. Michael quickly disarms one of the cops, grabs his gun, and uses him as a human shield. But right at that moment, the second cop starts having seizures and literally transforms into a terrifying monster right in front of them. His teeth turn into razor-sharp fangs, and his eyes go pitch black. The possessed cop looks at Michael and demands to know what he is doing here against his orders. Michael fires back that he isn't taking orders from anyone anymore. Hearing this, the monster cop tells him that he is going to die right alongside that baby, and then he immediately opens fire, accidentally shooting his own partner. To save his own life, Michael guns down the possessed cop and then steals their police cruiser to make his getaway. Here is the deal. Michael has actually rebelled against God's orders of destruction and sworn an oath to protect humanity. Next, we cut to a middle-of-nowhere diner in the desert called Paradise Falls. The place is owned by a guy named Bob, and his son Jeep works there too. Jeep is secretly in love with Charlie, a waitress at the diner. Charlie is 8 months pregnant, and even though the baby isn't his, Jeep deeply cares for her and her unborn child. A little while later, a guy named Kyle wanders in after getting lost, complaining that his phone has no service. Aside from him, there is also a family stranded there. Howard, his wife Sandra, and their teenage daughter Audrey are stuck because their car broke down. Inside the diner, the TV loses its signal. Bob smacks the TV a couple of times, and suddenly an emergency broadcast message flashes on the screen. He tries the radio and the landline phone, but all the networks are completely dead. At that exact same moment, Jeep is standing outside and notices a massive, terrifying swarm of black clouds brewing in the distance, getting bigger by the second. Suddenly, a sweet-looking old lady named Gladys walks into the diner. She orders her food and casually starts chatting with the people around her. But when Charlie brings her the meal, the old woman stares dead at her with a creepy smile and tells her that her baby is going to die very soon. Everyone in the diner is totally shocked, and a furious Charlie storms off. Howard steps up to calm the old lady down, but out of nowhere, she attacks him like a wild animal and violently bites into his neck. Before anyone can even process what is happening, the old woman crawls straight up the wall and onto the ceiling like a spider, attacking everyone in sight. Luckily, Kyle pulls out his handgun and shoots Gladys dead. By now, Howard is bleeding out fast. The group quickly loads him into Kyle's car and rushes off to find a hospital. But a few miles down the road, they see a massive, terrifying tornado of black bugs heading straight for them. Within seconds, the swarm surrounds the car, and these creepy bugs start crawling in through every tiny crack and vent. In no time, the entire car is swarming with these dangerous insects. Back at the diner, Jeep is literally throwing up from the sheer panic of everything that just happened, while Bob tries to calm him down. Suddenly, they hear the sound of the car returning. Bob rushes outside, only to realize that the massive swarm of bugs is now heading straight for the diner at full speed. A little while later, as the group is dragging the old lady's dead body out of the diner, they spot a police cruiser pulling up, and stepping out of the car is none other than Michael. Bob immediately points a shotgun right at him. To prove he is just a normal human, Michael shows them his teeth, proving he doesn't have those monster fangs. After a quick chat, Michael realizes that these people have absolutely no clue that the end of the world has already begun. Michael warns them that an entire army of people just like that old woman is about to launch a massive attack on them. He pops his trunk and starts handing out heavy-duty weapons to everyone. He gives Charlie a strict warning to stay safe and never risk her life, because she is the actual target the enemies are coming for. After that, the group works together, using tables and chairs to completely barricade all the windows and doors of the diner. As soon as night falls, the power gets cut off. To keep an eye out for danger, all the guys grab their weapons and take up positions on the roof. Minutes later, an ice cream truck cuts through the darkness and stops right outside. The driver steps out and starts screaming in this bizarre, terrifying voice. Right before their eyes, his arms and legs stretch out to unnatural lengths, and he sprints toward the diner like a horrifying monster. Wasting no time, the crew rains down bullets on him and drops him dead on the spot, but the real threat is just getting started. In the distance, Dozens of cars come speeding toward the diner, completely packed with those demonic, possessed people. On Michael's command, everyone opens fire on the incoming vehicles. The heavy gunfire causes several cars to crash into each other and explode in massive fireballs. Despite the heavy crossfire, one of the monsters manages to smash through a window and get inside. Using the pitch-black darkness to his advantage, the creature grabs Howard and starts dragging him right back out the window. Sandra and the other women desperately try to pull him back, but in the chaos, another monster locks its eyes on Charlie. It is just about to drag her away when Michael bursts in at the exact right moment and shoots the beast dead. Unfortunately, the distraction gives the enemies enough time to drag Howard out into the night. Michael immediately unloads his weapon through the windows to keep any other monsters from getting inside. Meanwhile, Sandra completely loses her mind over her husband getting kidnapped and frantically tries to go after him. Michael stops her, bluntly explaining that Howard is gone and there is no bringing him back. He also gives Charlie a strict warning not to put her life at risk under any circumstances. Seeing all this craziness, Bob finally snaps. He steps right in the middle and demands to know what the hell is actually going on. That is when Michael drops the heavy truth. He explains that God has completely lost faith in humanity and wants to wipe out the human race entirely. The people outside attacking them like rabid animals are actually weak-willed humans who have been possessed by God's angels. Michael reveals that he himself used to be an angel. He is only here to protect Charlie's unborn baby because that child is humanity's absolute last hope for survival. Even though Charlie is only 8 months pregnant, Michael tells her the baby is going to be born tomorrow, right on Christmas. Now, whether these people believe in God or not, they have to team up and fight off these monsters to keep humanity's last hope alive. A little while later, when things finally quiet down, Jeep pulls Michael aside to get the full story. Michael confesses that he was actually the general of the angel army, but when God gave the order to exterminate humanity, he rebelled, abandoned his army, and came down to Earth. Michael explains that even though God has given up on humans, he hasn't. He knows the world is full of hate and darkness, but he truly believes there is still goodness and humanity left in people, and he is willing to risk his own life to save them. The next morning, Bob and Michael head up to the roof to keep watch. Standing up there, Michael flashes back to the exact day this whole apocalypse started. Back when Michael refused to follow God's order to destroy humanity, Gabriel, the second most powerful angel, tried hard to talk some sense into him. Gabriel argued that humans were just getting punished for all their sins, but Michael believed that an angel's job wasn't to slaughter humans, but to guide them on the right path. It was right then that Michael watched thousands of angels leave heaven and head straight for Earth to wipe out the human race. Meanwhile, back inside, the group has to tie Sandra to a chair because the trauma of losing her husband has made her completely lose her grip on reality. When her daughter Audrey tries to feed her, Sandra viciously blames her for everything, screaming that it is all her fault since they were only traveling to another city for her sake. A bit later, the diner's radio suddenly picks up a signal. They hear a broadcast saying that other human survivors across the country have formed their own resistance armies to fight back against the monsters. Hearing this, Bob and the others want to leave the diner and go join the resistance, but Michael immediately shuts that down, warning them that stepping out into the open will just make it ridiculously easy for the monsters to kill Charlie and her baby. As soon as night falls, the power at the diner suddenly comes back on. Just then they spot a car pulling up outside, so Kyle and Audrey get ready to attack. But when a man and a little boy step out looking completely normal, they lower their guns. Unfortunately, it is all a massive trap set by the monsters. They had intentionally turned the power back on to make the survivors think everything was fine, so they would step outside. Without hesitating, Kyle jumps off the roof and starts blindly firing at the monsters. Inside the diner, Bob desperately wants to go out and help him, but Michael aims his gun right at Bob, warning him that if he opens that door, every single one of them will die. Outside, Kyle manages to gun down several monsters and then rushes forward to save the little boy, but that is when he realizes the kid is actually a monster too. Out of nowhere, the possessed kid lunges at Kyle, bites him right in the neck, and kills him on the spot. When Charlie goes into the kitchen to grab some water, she finds that the monster kid has already snuck inside. The possessed boy suddenly attacks her with a knife. Charlie quickly grabs a metal tray to use as a shield. The knife slams into the tray and bounces back, slicing off the kid's fingers. Charlie shoves him to the ground, and at that exact moment, the diner's lights cut out again. The group grabs their flashlights and starts following a trail of fresh blood. They spot the kid's bloody handprints leading up to the ceiling. Suddenly, the kid drops out of the darkness right onto Bob's back, trying to kill him. Michael instantly rips the monster off Bob and throws him across the room, giving Jeep the perfect shot to gun him down. Right at that moment, Charlie goes into intense labor pains. Michael and Audrey rush to comfort her and help her deliver the baby. While this is happening, the massive, deafening sound of bells starts echoing all across the sky. Up on the roof, Jeep and Bob are keeping watch. Suddenly, a massive bolt of lightning strikes, illuminating the darkness, and what they see completely blows their minds. Standing right outside the diner is an absolutely massive army of thousands of monsters, just waiting for them. Inside, Charlie gives birth to the baby, but she refuses to even hold it. She begs Michael to take the kid and raise it himself, but Michael tells her straight up that this is her journey and she has to be the one to finish it. After that, Audrey takes the baby over to her mom, Sandra. Seeing the baby, Sandra's heart seems to melt, and she apologizes to Audrey for acting so crazy, but it is a total trick. She is just using the apology as a distraction to secretly untie her hands. When the baby starts crying, the sound literally gives the monsters outside a piercing headache. Suddenly, a massive, deafening bell rings out. Michael yells at everyone to grab their weapons because the most powerful angel of all, Gabriel, is coming down to finish the job himself. That is when it finally hits everyone. The angel's real mission this whole time was to kill this exact baby. Michael reveals that this kid was never actually supposed to be born, but now that he is here, both the future and God's will have completely changed. Hearing this, Charlie finally steps up to hold her son, but out of nowhere, Sandra breaks free and snatches the baby right out of her arms. She plans to hand the kid over to the monsters just to save her own skin. At that exact second, the bells outside get insanely loud, and the diner doors are blown wide open with a massive explosion. Without hesitating for a split second, Michael shoots Sandra dead to stop her. As she drops, the baby slips from her hands and is about to hit the floor, but Jeep dives in at the last possible second and catches the kid, saving his life. Right after that, Gabriel storms into the diner. Bob immediately opens fire on him. To block the bullets, Gabriel uses his metal wings like a shield and spins around at lightning speed, slicing right into Bob's stomach with his weapon. Gabriel then picks Bob up and violently throws him straight into the kitchen. Jeep runs to help his dad, but Michael physically stops him. He orders Jeep to take the baby and run for his life. He tells Jeep that he needs to find the prophets and learn to read the instructions. Jeep is totally confused and has no idea what he is talking about. After that, Audrey, Charlie, and Jeep sneak out the back door with the baby. When they step outside, they are completely stunned. All the monsters are just standing there, bowing their heads in respect to the newborn. Not a single one attacks them, and they actually part ways to let them walk right through. The three of them jump into a car and speed off. Back in the diner, Michael tells Gabriel that he does not even care about his own life anymore, because the baby is already safe. Hearing this, Gabriel loses his mind in anger and literally stabs Michael through the chest with his razor-sharp wings. Even heavily wounded, Michael does not back down. He lunges at Gabriel and starts choking him. Gabriel instantly takes flight, dragging Michael up into the air and slamming him brutally against the ceiling. Finally, Gabriel strikes him with his mace, killing Michael on the spot. After killing his own brother, Gabriel actually starts crying. But suddenly, Michael's dead body turns into a blinding bright light and completely vanishes into thin air. Meanwhile, in the escaping car, some weird glowing lines start magically appearing on Jeep's skin. Jeep instantly realizes that these tattoos are the exact instructions Michael was talking about earlier. Back at the diner, Gabriel hears a noise coming from the kitchen. He walks in and sees that a heavily wounded Bob is actually still alive. Out of nowhere, Bob sparks his lighter right next to the gas oven. In the blink of an eye, a massive explosion rips through the building, blowing up Gabriel and completely wiping out the entire army of monsters standing outside. But somehow, Gabriel survives that insane blast. Within seconds, he flies straight onto Jeep's speeding car and attacks them. Jeep shoots at him, making Gabriel slip and hang onto the back of the car, but the bullets literally do zero damage to him. He then smashes his way inside the car and knocks Audrey out cold. Right as he snatches the baby from Charlie, Jeep tackles him. Suddenly, Audrey wakes up and screams at Jeep to slam on the brakes. Jeep stomps on the brakes so hard that the car flips over and crashes down into a ravine, sending Gabriel flying straight through the windshield. Jeep and Charlie grab the baby and desperately start climbing up the mountain, but Gabriel catches up in no time and attacks them again. He knocks Jeep to the dirt and demands that Charlie hand over the kid, but Charlie is not giving up her baby without a fight. Just then, Jeep gets back up and tries to push Gabriel off the cliff from behind. But right as Gabriel is about to execute Jeep with his knife, a blinding flash of light shoots down from the sky and stops him dead in his tracks. It is none other than Michael. He has been resurrected with all his angelic powers back. In a single, effortless strike, he completely beats Gabriel down to the ground, but he chooses not to kill him. Utterly defeated and ashamed, Gabriel flies away. Michael turns to follow him, but before he leaves, he looks at Jeep and tells him that he is now the true protector of the child. With that, Michael flies off into the sky. Jeep takes Charlie and the baby, and they set off on the road to find the rest of the human survivors, ready to safely raise the very last hope for humanity. And with that, our story wraps up right here. Let me know what you guys thought of the video down in the comments, and do not forget to hit that subscribe button. I will catch you in the next one. Until then, goodbye.